Question number 1 to question 20 will be of objective types, and here the examiner can even ask some factual things about the dates. Students, this is not only about the examination. We should not go out of limit in any sphere of our lives. So this would be the exact paper pattern which have been started from section A and end to section F. Hello dear students. So here we are going to learn a perfect strategy to prepare for board examination. And in this video, we are going to learn specifically for social science. Students, this is what we already know, that social science is actually a subject which has 4 further division of it. Those are history, civics, geography and economics. And for board examination, we'll be having equal weightage to be given to all the 4 divisions. For example, if the question paper will be of 80 marks, we'll be having 20 marks for history, 20 marks for geography, 20 marks for civics and 20 marks given to economics. So students, now we are going to learn strictly for social science to how to prepare for our board examinations. And here we have a very most important thing to learn. That is all about the paper pattern. Students, social science paper in boards will get divided into 6 different sections. Those are A, B, C, D, E and F, and the total number of questions to be asked in these 6 sections will be as of 37. So we'll be having total 37 questions to be asked from all the 6 sections. And students, here we have section A. Students, in section A, will be having questions starting from question number 1 to question number 20. All the questions in this section will be of multiple choice types, and every question here will carry 1 mark. Next to it, we have section B. Students, in section B will be having questions starting from question number 21 to question number 24. And all the questions here will be of very short type, and every question in this section will be of 2 mark each. Next to it, we have section C. Students, in section C will be having questions starting from question number 25 to question number 29, and every question here will be of short type answer, and every question in this particular section will carry 3 marks. Next to it, we have section D. Students, in section D will be having questions starting from question number 30 to question number 33, and every question in this section will be of long answer type, and every questions in this section will carry 5 mark each. Next to it, we have section E. Students, in section E will be having questions starting from question number 34 to question number 36, and all the questions in this section will be of case-based study type, and every question in this section will carry 4 mark each. Students, but there is something we have as changed for this particular section. In every different section we have learned earlier will carry long answer type and short answer type, but in this particular section we'll be having case-based study question, and the question will get divided into 3 different sections. For example, if we are considering question number 34, question number 34 will get divided into 3 different sections. Those are 34.1, 34.2 and 34.3. Combining all the 3 different questions of question number 34 will be of 4 marks. So in section E, every question will be of 4 marks, but the question will have further 3 division of it. Next to it, we have section F. In section F, we'll be having question of map approach. So students, question number 37 will be of map, will get divided into 2 different parts. Question number 37A and question number 37B. In question number 37A, we'll be having 2 map location to be asked, but for history as the subject. In 37B, we'll be having 3 map locations to be asked for geography as the subject. So this would be the exact paper pattern which have been started from section A and end to section F. Students, in our paper, social science paper, will not be having any overall choice given. But yes, with some questions, we'll be having some internal choices, and internal choices will be of the same chapter for what the first question have been given. So yes students, this is all about the paper pattern of social science to be asked in board examination. Now again we are going to learn something very most important. Students, while preparing for some important things, we generally have 2 different phases. Those are, the very first one, that will have to inculcate all such practices which are very most important to prepare for a particular thing, right? So for that we are going to learn something as do's, what the practices we should inculcate in our daily routine. Second to it, students, we have many things which we should not refer. those further can damage our preparation. So further to it, we are going to learn about don'ts, what will not have to do. So students, we are actually starting from do's, what the different practices we should inculcate in our daily routine in order to make our preparation more effective. So the very first thing we should do just in order to make our preparation more effective, that is all about the chapter reading. Students, we have some chapters which are very lengthy, especially in history. And students, this is what we already know, that we may have 20 questions of objective type as the approach. We may have many questions as case-based study in which our general approach has been asked. So for objective type questions in which something from the deep of the chapter can be asked, for case study where our approach can be asked, for that particular thing, chapter reading is very most important, especially for history as the subject. So students, for some lengthy chapters, it is very most important just to make a thorough reading of different chapter twice at least. Next to it, while reading, we'll have to make some notes of important topics which we have just discussed in our regular classes. Students, making notes are very most important because at the last time, just before the examination, we cannot go through the exact book. Because in book, we have many things and we should not refer all such things while at the last time just before the examination. At that time, some important notes are important. Students, so we are going to learn, we are going to just revise all such important topics at the last time just before the examination. Students, next to it, we have just discussed many important questions while they're in revision classes. And all such students who have not attended revision classes, they must have made a separate file of important questions. Students, these important questions are very most important just in order to make a revision at the last time just before the examination. So what we can do while preparation, we can just mark some important questions and all such questions to be kept in a separate file in order to revise at the last time just before the examination. So that is also very most important. Next, students, this is what we have just learned in the paper pattern, that the question number 37 will be of map. So map locations are important. So what we can do, we can practice many map but tracing important dates. For the students studying in Allen, we have given a separate map book to those. So students, all such students who are actually studying in Allen, they can practice that map book. Next to it, we have very most important, students. Question number 1 to question 20 will be of objective types, and here the examiner can even ask some factual things about the dates. So students will have to create a timeline of all such important dates so that we will not make our answer incorrect. So students, here we have such important things. Yes, a very most important thing. Many of the students are asking me that, sir, this type of question can be asked or not, or what type of question can be asked in the examination. Students, just to have that particular idea, it is preferable and suggested that we can go through all such previous year questions and previous year question papers. While going through previous year question papers, we'll be having a general idea that yes, this type of question can be asked and this much of marks. So students, that particular idea is very most important just before sitting in examination. So what we can do, we can just go through all such previous year questions which are already uploaded in CBSE. So we can just visit the official site and download all such previous year question paper. We can have an idea in order to make our study more effective. So these are some regular practices, these are some important things, important practices which we should inculcate in our daily routine. Now students, what we have on screen is all about the practices we should not refer because these particular practices can damage our preparation. The very first thing, that while sitting in examination, we should not be very fast for attempting our answer. Students, this is what we already know, that we are going to deliver our answer in points. So this is what I have already mentioned you in regular classes, that a very most important point should be kept as point number 1 and point number 2. Because after that, evaluator will be having that clear idea that yes, the students have written things correctly and efficiently. So what we can do, we can just look at the question, we can just frame different points. That time is very most important. It will not take much time of yours, but we should not be very rapid with the answer delivery. We should just think before writing the answer that what we are going to write. So students, we should not be very fast for attempting our answer. Like in such type of practices, if will be very fast, we can just write our answers incorrect. So students, we should be slow, we should first think just before writing the answers. Next, students, it has been suggested multiple times to you that we should not put extra knowledge in our answers. Students, we should be strictly following NCERT only. We should not go out of NCERT, right students? Don't learn things which are not discussed in NCERT book. We should strictly follow NCERT. We should not write anything out of NCERT in our answer copy, because while checking the copy, the evaluator may have an answer key with themselves and they can strictly follow the answer key, and answer key has been made through NCERT only. So students, we should not put anything as extra which have not been discussed in NCERT. Next, an important thing, that we should not go out of limit. Students, this is not only about the examination. We should not go out of limit in any sphere of our lives. So students, for this particular thing, a particular word limit has been mentioned by CBSE with that of NCERT, and here we have the word limit. We should not cross such word limits in our examination in our answer writing. So students, here we have the word limit given with every different types of questions. For example, if the question is of 2 marks, the word limit for such things, for such questions, is of 40 words. We should not write our answer more than of that of 40 words. Next to it, if we have question of 3 marks, we should not write our answers more than 60 words. If the question is of 5 marks, we should not write our answer more than that of 120 words. But students, many of the students may have this particular doubt that yes, we have a question which is of 4 marks also. So what particular limit has been set for that? For section E, which has case-based study type of question. So students, for the question of 4 marks in section E, the questions has for the division of it. Those are 34.1, 34.2 and 34.3. 34.1, 34.2 will be of 1 mark each. 34.3 will be of 2 mark each. So what we can do, we can just strictly manage our word limit accordingly. But we should not go more than that of 40 words, because 40 words is maximum for 2 marks. Right? So this to be the word limit set by examination and CBSE, and we should not cross such word limits. We'll have to write our answers effectively within word limits only. Next is students, what type of question can be asked and what should be the answer delivery. Students, this is what we have just learned, that will have to deliver answer in points. And students, points should not be more than that of marks. If the question is of 2 marks, we are going to write 2 points only. If the question is of 3 marks, we are going to write 3 points only. If the question is of 5 marks, we are going to write 5 points only. But students, all such points must be effective in order to gain more marks. So let's take an example of a particular question, and here we have the question that describes through what routes federation have been formed. As students, for this we have 2-point answer. First, coming together federation, second, holding together federation. But we should not very blunt and very rapid with the answer. We'll have to just make our answer delivery very systematic. So now see students, here the answer have been delivered by making a broad approach, by making a broad starting. That is, based on the historical context, the federation have been formed in different other ways in different other countries. So this type of starting we will have to make in order to make our answer more effective. Then coming together federation and holding together federation have been formed. And one other very most important thing, that whenever we are going to write something very most important, that to be underlined students. For example, here the answer writer is actually writing about the first route and the second route. For that thing, the answer writer have strictly mentioned that yes, this is the first route and this is the second route. In order to make this more presentable, we can just underline such things. And here we have one and the very most important thing. For example, if we are writing coming together federation, we are going to underline it, so that the evaluator will be having that clear idea that yes, the students have written everything correctly. So students, this to be the answer writing approach for every different students. Next to it, what are such important topics which should be studied while at the last time just before the examination? So students, here we have all such important topics which takes less times and can give you more marks. Students, so such topics are starting from nationalism in India, history, the rise of nationalism in Europe from history. These two chapters are the top most important chapter of history as the subject. Next, we have federalism, political parties. These two chapters are very most important chapter from civics. Next, we have resources and development, agriculture, lifelines of Indian economy. These are most important chapter from geography. And next, last, economics. We have sector of Indian economy and globalization and the Indian economy. Students, such topics are very most important, can give you more marks in less time. Students, if I am saying that such topics are very most important, that doesn't mean that rest of the topics are not important. Students will have to learn everything. Only that particular thing can give us good marks. So we'll have to learn everything and everything and everything. But yes, at the last time we can just refer all such things in order to make our preparation more effective and strong. Next to it, last day just before examination, what we should do. So student, at the last day, what we can do, we already have made many of the revision notes, so we should refer all such revision notes. We should not go with books, because in books we have many content and which can make us confused. So what we can do, we have just already made revision notes. So just as the last day before examination, we'll have to see all such revision notes properly. Next to it, students, this is all about the making of body clock. So what happens that just before social science examination, we have many days of leave. So what we can do, we can just fix the same clock and we can just solve many papers at the same time what we are going to do in the examination. For example, the examination is of 10 to 1 as the time. Just at that period of time before examination at our home, we can just solve many papers. That will make our body clock same as that of the examination time. So students, because of this, the students can even score good marks. So we'll have to make the same body clock as that of the examination time. And during that time, we can at least solve one question paper a day. Next to it, before examination, we should take good sleep. We should not be stressed. We should not be nervous, because whatever we have learned is enough to score good in the examination. Next, we should take light diet and nothing else, students. We have just prepared everything. We'll have to make a confidence over us and we'll do good in the examination hall. So students, stay tuned, and for any query, you can just message us. We'll be very privileged to answer every query of yours. Good luck and all the best.